Thank you so much for coming here to my own studio to interview me. I think this is the first time I'm being interviewed here.
Why did you have to mention it's your studio? I want people to think I became wealthy out of my podcasting.
Cut.
Hey folks, Andrew here. And for our Brood Business in Taiwan series that we're doing, I meet up with successful foreign entrepreneurs who's been here in Taiwan for some time and who went through all the hard grind to build their own businesses. And today I have a massive, massive privilege to be in the room with the master, the legend, the giant, Lukas Engstro, the one and only. Thank you so much for joining me on this chat.
Thank you so much for coming here to my own studio to interview me. I think this is the first time I'm being interviewed here.
Why did you have to mention it's your studio? I want people to think I became wealthy out of my podcasting.
Cut. Take two. Wow, this studio is amazing.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah. Nice one. All right. Yeah, so we're going to dive into Lukas's business and his journey as an entrepreneur here in Taiwan, because for some reason, somebody's been spreading news outside of Taiwan that it's so easy to do business in Taiwan. It's like, if you're a failure in your own country, just come and start a global business in Taiwan.
I thought that's what English teachers was for. You know? No, sorry to any English teachers. I don't mean to offend you.
There we go. So it's not about being, talking about negative of how difficult it is here in Taiwan and, all the struggles that we go through. But it's not an easy country to do business in. It is difficult. You have to be pretty well experienced. So let's start diving into your business, because this is very unique. What do you do?
Yeah, what do I do? That's the first question I ask myself every morning. Like, what do I do? I think just like for my my background, my experience, I think it's just important to know that I never thought about making YouTube videos as a business. That's not how it started, and it was not the purpose of me making YouTube videos. Now it is a business, and it's my full-time income, and it's like my only income. But when I started, I literally just took up a GoPro, started to record some beautiful places in Taiwan just for fun and for my own memories. So for me, it has kind of been slowly but steady growth. And one morning I just woke up, okay, today I'm going to record a video. And since that day, 5 years ago, I recorded at least one video per week for the last 5 years.
Wow.
So for me, it kind of started as a hobby, then growing into a business. So there's a lot of small steps to reach the point where I am now.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the business, for me, it's the whole thing. It's 50% of the time was a hobby, 50% of the time was a business. So by the time it became a business, I had already figured out a lot of things without treating it as a business, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So at what stage when you were doing your hobby did you realize, hey, crap, this can make money?
So with YouTube, you need to reach certain requirements in order to actually start making income on the ads on YouTube. So when I started, it was 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
Wow.
For the last year. And when you're just starting out, 4,000 is a lot of watch hours. So YouTube kind of gives you that number right off. So you have the first goal right there. But the first day I made income is at 0.001 USD. So you're obviously this is not the case. But the first sponsored video that I had was Cambly, learning English app. And it was a sponsored video. They contacted me, they emailed me saying, hey, we'll give you 100 USD if you make a video for us. 100 USD, that's oh my God.
Wow.
It's like food for a week, So of course. And that's when I first started to realize that it's you could actually make money, because this was before in the US, I'm sure that there were YouTubers, but in Taiwan, the term wasn't really here.
Yeah.
And I also, me personally, I never watch YouTube videos unless it is to teach myself something new.
Yeah.
So I was very unfamiliar with the whole concept of like, entertainment YouTube. For me, YouTube was just like instruction videos. So I didn't know about this term YouTuber until like I'd already done it for like maybe 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to see other people like popping up on my screen. And I'm like, wait, people actually, they do this and get paid? Like what? It's unbelievable.
But you were still working?
I was still working. I had a full-time job, and it was just like as soon as you came home, you come home like 8 p.m. and then you work on your YouTube videos until like 2, 3, 4 a.m. sometimes, and then you get like your 4 hours of sleep, and you wake up, have your job, come home, and towards the point, like at the end of my, let's say I treated YouTube as a hobby. Because I kept getting like, more and more intense videos or like bigger projects, and also like more sponsored videos, like literally every minute of my so-called like free time went to like YouTube for well over 2 years. To the point where it was like during my lunch hours at work, I brought my personal laptop and I was doing subtitles in a conference room because that was like the only time I had to make sure that I finished a video like every week on Friday at like 7 p.m.
That absolute respect to you, and even something that even you've earned a lot of respect from the local community, who seems to be your main target audience. Yeah,
it's like 95% Taiwanese people, and then 5% like spread out all over the world. But based on the comments I get on my videos, it's all in traditional Chinese. So my assumption is that it's Taiwanese people living abroad. So I would say like it's 100% Taiwanese people and my mom watching my videos. that's pretty much how it is.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, how many other foreigners in Taiwan are running successful YouTube channels here? I know a few have popped up very recently, but you must have been one of the first ones, Svein.
I consider myself like second generation. So there's this like old school people like Jesus Atoya Bujao Meiyu, and then Logan D. Beck Xiaobei. They were like way before me, but they also like, this was before like YouTube, so they also didn't really do it for money. It was just like doing something for fun, and like we all like to be in front of the cameras, be on stage, and just like entertain, I guess. But yeah, I mean, now I think foreigners in Taiwan, YouTubers, let's say that we're like 30 that are like either full-time or like semi-professional is like the majority of our income and like time spent. But for me, it's like those 30 are my 30 closest friends in Taiwan.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
For me, it's like my whole life is like those 30 people. So for me, I feel like everyone is a successful YouTuber because everyone I know in Taiwan are, So
okay, so you use the word successful there. What makes a successful YouTuber in Taiwan? Let's go on the foreign YouTuber in Taiwan.
Well, so how do you define success?
Well, it's reaching a point where you're really satisfied with what you're doing. You're earning enough money to support yourself, your family, and you're just having a blast. Let's just put it this way. You don't stress about where tomorrow's meal is coming from anymore.
Okay. Yes, that's good. That's a good definition, because that's exactly how I defined success as well. When I could go full time. So I'm very conservative. So I set up like a budget, and like I have like a backup budget for like paying my rent a year in advance. That's like my saved up capital, like the emergency fund, and I would say for me, when I start to go like full time, I had that reserve already, and I knew that I have enough for a year. If I don't make any money this entire year, I can still at least try this for a full year and then go back to like a real job. Turns out that during my first year as a full-time YouTuber, I made more money compared to when I was working full-time and doing YouTube as a hobby on the side. So that was like my second definition of success.
Wow.
That not only does it replace a full-time job, it replaces a full-time job and a side income. And that was like my second step of success. But again, like I wake up basically every day thinking like, I don't have a video for next week. I don't have a new sponsored video. So that way of thinking like month by month it's so not me as a person, but somehow I've managed to survive for 2 years. So I'm not worried, but it stresses me out not having a secure income for next month. But hopefully during next month, there will be like one email in my inbox that will change that mindset. So I will survive one more month.
Yeah, so that's a very important thing for entrepreneurs coming to set up shop here in Taiwan, is to have that runway. Like you said, you had that for a year, you knew you can work hard and get your business up and running. And that's unfortunately one mistake that a lot of foreigners make here. They come and they set up shop and their money's gone. Yeah. And then they have to figure out what's next. So talking about setting up shop. So obviously YouTuber, all you really need is probably just an iPhone to do it. But you've got a very snazzy...
I wish someone told me that 5 years ago.
Or am I missing it? Am I missing something?
No, so you're completely right. The only thing you need is like an iPhone. I mean, nowadays, like any iPhone you can buy today is better than like the GoPro 3 that I started with, you know?
Yeah.
But for me, it was a hobby. For my first 3 years before I went full time, it was just a hobby. So I took like all my income from YouTube to go into getting like new cameras, new lights, like new microphones. And it was just for fun.
Yeah.
And then my first 3 years, I broke even like on my YouTube business. But at that time, it wasn't a business. So depending on how you look at it. But it's brutal. Like imagine like getting a job and the first day your boss tells you like, okay, this is maybe how much you will make per month. There will be like no guarantees. Yeah. If you're lucky, this is what you will get. Yeah. But you need to buy your own computer. You need to buy your own office. You need anything that you need to do your job with an unstable income. You have to pay for yourself. Like no one in the right mind would take a job like that. But that is like what an entrepreneur is. At least that's how it was for me. So like you really need to make sure that it's like your hobby before it can become your business, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you also, it impacts your personal life a lot.
Oh, it completely like destroys your so-called personal life.
Like, how do you balance that? Because you run this amazing studio from home. So you never, you do go traveling because you do a lot of travel videos. But yeah, how do you balance business and private life?
So for 2 years, there was no balance. Everything went into like YouTube videos. My ex-girlfriend broke up with me. She didn't really explain why, but looking back, it was because like YouTube came into the way, and it took up like literally like every minute. I would be like on the MRT back home from the office. I would like look at YouTube videos on how to improve my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
On the bathroom, I would like reply to like work emails or watch like a YouTube tutorial while on the bathroom because that was like the only time that I had. So for 2 years, it literally consumed me, but I have no regrets because that was just like my passion and just like my life. Now, fortunately, starting from this year, actually, I've fortunate enough so I can actually also afford to hire an editor who helps me to do like the rough cuts and saving me like, 5-6 hours every week, which is like an hour per day where it goes into like actual normal human being stuff, like being with my girlfriend,
Absolutely. So that's also a very important point is you've just got to understand when you come and set up shop in Taiwan or any other country for that matter, as an entrepreneur, you're going to bust your ass off.
It's brutal. Like you cannot explain how much work it is. And especially like YouTube, I'm sure that there are more like, safer businesses to start and more like more stable income than having a YouTube channel. But for me, like it's ruthless.
What kept you going through those? I'm sure you went through some dark periods where you're like, oh, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
But what kept you going?
I think it was just so my dark period was seeing all my other friends / competitors doing so much better than me. And it was like 3 months where I was looking at their channel, looking at their content, and I was jealous, I was envious, I was frustrated that everyone else were doing things just because of the views.
Yeah.
And they were not doing what I thought we all set out to do, like it was a unwritten rule that we should only do these kind of videos.
Yeah.
So I spent like 3 months thinking, like, for me, it was a very easy decision in the end. It just comes down to, do I want to continue making videos that I want to make that is like all about me or personal life? Or do I want to make videos that other people want to watch and that will lead to a higher income so I can buy more expensive cameras, more expensive microphones to make better videos?
Yeah.
And then I just realized that I prefer to make better videos instead of making videos about me, which no one ended up watching in the end.
I don't believe that for a second.
Oh no, I can show you like YouTube Studio, like the back admin does not lie. It's like the numbers tell the truth. So for me, it was just basically like catering more towards, like, in trying to make a business perspective out of this, trying to tailor more to what the customer wants instead of what I want to sell. That was like the biggest thing, because when I started all of this, I thought that my product was me, and no matter what Lukas Engstro is doing, people would be interested in me because I'm super interesting. Turns out that is so not the case, and people are watching my videos because they want to know more about other foreigners in Taiwan. And some of my best performing videos are like the only two videos that I'm not in on my channel are videos of other foreigners. And it's just my good friends Wes Davies and Yuan Yuan in Taiwan. It's just their face for like 10 minutes. And both those videos were my best performing videos when those were released. But then I was like, wait a minute, I don't want this. I don't want that success because it's not my success.
Yeah.
I want my face being in my videos is
Absolutely.
more rewarding for me than more people watching someone else's face, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Although I made more money if I would have done that.
Absolutely. So interesting. I want to continue on this note. So what makes a successful YouTuber in Taiwan?
There's a lot of. Do you want the secret sauce, or do you want
not the secret sauce? Now I know the secret sauce is not having you in a video.
Yes, step one. That's all you need to know.
Blank it out.
Yeah. No. So basically, like, as a foreigner in Taiwan, your audience will be Taiwanese, and you kind of have to put yourself in the perspective of the audience or the customer. Like, what do they want to see? And it's YouTube. And people are just watching YouTube for like light entertainment. They're watching it like on their toilet or on the MRT on the way home from a stressful day at work.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily want to hear like foreigners complaining about Taiwan, because maybe they have been dealing with complaints on their own the whole day.
Yeah.
And foreigners, like Taiwanese people in general, have a much higher pride over Taiwan than Swedish people would have over Sweden, for example. So like I feel like Taiwanese people collectively take pride in the success of Taiwan in a way that foreigners cannot understand, because we don't care about our country's success in the same way. So them hearing foreigners coming to Taiwan, moving to Taiwan, thinking that something is better in Taiwan than in our other countries, and hearing that, like, self pat on the shoulder, that's what works best for me. But it also comes down to a very like special niche of like YouTube, where it's foreigners coming to Taiwan, having a great time here, wanting to share their amazing experience in Taiwan to an audience that wants to hear how good living in Taiwan really is.
Yeah. As a foreign entrepreneur in Taiwan, what difficulties have you come across running a business here as a foreigner?
So my journey was like, when I first started off making YouTube videos, first of all, I never saw like the business aspect of it. But until I had started to work with an agency, like a Taiwanese agency, to help me to get in contact with like Taiwanese companies and things like this. And I think it's just so important to have a Taiwanese partner in one way or another, not only for like language issues. Like I haven't tried to really do like my own taxes as a foreigner, but I feel like I would still have some like Chinese issues with this. But just when it comes to like the relationship with other, like your customers, or like in my case, like the clients that I make videos for, like just an example, right now, I have like over 260,000 subscribers on my YouTube. I put my email address in all my videos. I must have made like over like close to 400 videos at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I think per year, I might only get like 2 or 3 emails that are to me directly saying that, hey, I saw your videos, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
99% of all my cases, all my sponsorships goes through, let's say I'm working like with the Taiwan government. That's like the end client. But then they have like a marketing company that they work with. And that marketing company are only contacting other YouTube agencies. And then they contact my agency. And then my agency says, hey, I think Lukas might be a great fit for this. And then they send it to the marketing company saying, oh yeah, this is perfect. And then that marketing company sends it to Taiwan government saying, oh yeah, this is perfect. But just this, how the system works is that no one would contact you directly. And, you know, I was studying business like back home in Sweden, like, I don't know, 20 years ago at this point. And I never really had a business mindset starting with YouTube. But now, when it's my full-time job, I'm starting to realize that the whole industry is just like basically like all other industries, but you need to have like a distribution platform, and you need to be where your customers are. If you have like the best product ever, which of course my YouTube videos and my YouTube channel is,
there you go, go for it.
It doesn't matter unless your customers are seeing it. So it has to be where your customers are looking, you know? And in my case, it's these marketing agencies contacting my YouTube agency. And without that, just like how they operate and how like, you know, the little pigeonhole of Taiwan business corporation looks like, it would be impossible without that.
Wow, very interesting. Thank you for sharing that.
I don't even know what the question was, but I hope I answered it.
Yeah, no, there you go. There you go. You gave us your secret sauce.
Yeah. Get a Taiwanese partner, and of course you cut a lot of like profit. They take a certain percentage, but it's better that they take a percentage of something than me getting 100% of nothing.
Yeah, absolutely agree. What makes Taiwan a great place to do and start a business in?
I would say that if you know what you're doing, then you can tailor your life in Taiwan exactly like you want it, in a way that it's impossible in any other country on earth. It's my short answer on that.
No,
like if you want like the full Asian experience, you can have that. You can like get, for example, like you can get, I mean, I'm talking about from like a personal life first. You can get like, you know, all your groceries from like the day market in Taiwan, the night markets, or you can go like full Western, and you can have like, you know, all these, in my case, like the camera equipment, which is still available here in Taiwan, although it's like, you know, it's American brands, it's Australian brands, it's like Swedish, Northern European brands. Everything can be sent to Taiwan, and you have the rest of it available locally here. And for me, as a foreigner working like, I'll guess like entertainment industry, it's you kind of get it like the Taiwanese are treating you from like a unique perspective. Like they welcome you from Taiwan and they kind of make you realize that you are in a unique advantage being like a foreigner in Taiwan. But that's also something that only would work in Taiwan. Like how Swedish people treat foreigners and how Taiwanese people treat foreigners, completely different. So in my case, I lived in Taiwan for 7 years before thinking about like starting a business, starting a YouTube channel. So I was just lucky being in Taiwan. But I think if you are a foreigner, then my general advice would be like, just double down on that. And whatever stereotype Taiwanese people have about your country, then that's what you go for, because you're not gonna change that. I've made 400 videos, and I've also had a cooperation with the European Union office here in Taiwan. So I have literally interviewed like all the representatives from every European country represented in Taiwan. And after I release these videos, I can see on my like YouTube admin, like the homepage, exactly which minute of the video people are watching and people are like, skipping ahead. And I can tell like when it comes to the stereotypes about countries, people are interested. They want to hear that, and they want to like, that's the one thing I know about that country. I'm glad I was right. When it comes to trying to like push other things, like Sweden is a little bit more than Volvo, IKEA, and meatballs. You try to like, Sweden is like number one when it comes to like red paint, which every Swede knows the follow
fresh air.
Exactly, fresh air, But if it's not already in the mind of a Taiwanese, you're just gonna waste so much time trying to push your image of something into the mindset of Taiwanese instead of just like going with it. In my case, I had to completely change my YouTube videos. And I think that people might just need to be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to the Taiwanese mindset and your own mindset. If you're a foreigner, it's going to be completely different, and you just have to roll with it or just do something else.
Wow, fascinating, because that was actually the next question of what advice would you give to people wanting to start out on this journey? But I think you've just answered it, but are there any other business-related tips?
So I would just see like, the basic one of that everyone should know already if you're watching a video like this is that you just have to make sure that you enjoy the process. Because coming from like a YouTube or like, social media career, I guess, so many people, they're seeing people like just having the time of their life, and they're just like, I go to like Japan on a trip. I just make a few videos, like 17 seconds reel, and the trip is paid. And it's like such an amazing life. Like people have no idea the struggle underneath and like how much work everything is. Not only like making like Instagram reels, but like any industry, any business. But the work is exactly the same from day one to, let's say, like 2 years after you have become a quote unquote successful YouTuber in my case. I do exactly the same things. I plan a video, I record a video, I edit a video. My life has looked exactly the same from the last 5 years. The only thing that has changed has been maybe like the type of videos I'm making, the type of places I get to go, and if I'm lucky, the type of income that comes with it. But my actual work, like 90% of my day, looks exactly the same as the first day I started. So just make sure that you enjoy your first day, and then every single day after that, and you're set. And then if you do, it doesn't really matter how successful you are, as long as you enjoy the process.
Fantastic. I love that. Really resonates with me. So if you had to rewind back 5 years, and what would you change? What would you do differently?
The classical answer is like I wouldn't do anything differently, because there's no such thing as failure, right? Only like learning new experiences.
Love it.
But looking back, the only regret I actually have is that I would have started a lot sooner, I think.
Interesting.
But because for me, it's also like, sure, money-wise, if we're treating my YouTube channel as a business, like performance-wise, I should have just not been so stubborn and like, this is what I want to do. I should, because I knew everything. Like I knew that this is what the customers or my viewers want, but I was like, no, I want to do this. I don't care about you. I just want to do what works for me. So from a business perspective, I would have changed that right away and just like listen to the customers. And so many times when looking at like from a Taiwanese business perspective, there's so many times when there's so many decisions made by just like the Laoban at the top.
Yeah.
And I always used to compare this as well. Like in Sweden, every employee works for the best of the company.
Yeah.
In Taiwan, every employee works for the best of their supervisor, which may or may not line into the overall like corporate goal, but you always work for your supervisor in Taiwan. So for me, that was like a difference. But then when it comes to like the YouTube, without that first year of me just having fun and doing exactly what I wanted to do, I don't think I would have actually continued year 2. Because if I would have treated my hobby as a business right away, it would have just been a second job, which I really was not looking for at that time. So looking back to it, I am 100% happy with how my journey looked like, because if it wouldn't have looked like that, I wouldn't be where I am today. But I think just make sure that you enjoy every step of the process. And then as soon as you can, just hire someone to help you with your least favorite or your least productive things, like the most easy replaceable thing, or the thing that you do not like, just to keep that happiness going. So for me, it was like outsourcing my subtitles, for example.
Okay.
The first 2 years, I did my Chinese subtitles all by myself. It took me 4 hours to write 10 minutes of subtitles. So as soon as I financially could afford that, put that into like my monthly budget, I was like, this is the first thing that goes, and I outsource it. And that also prolonged my revenue and my profit for like maybe like 6 months. But without that sacrifice and that investment, I would have just stopped, because that was like the one thing that like killed me. So yeah.
What are your character traits that you think makes you and makes your business successful?
So when I was looking back to this, I did like some self scanning or whatever recently, and like when I started, I had like 0 talents, like literally, like I held up a GoPro and that was it. That was the only thing I knew about, like YouTube or video editing. But I had a passion, and I'm not afraid of like putting in the hours. It's just about like, for me, it was more like the quantity, like the time you put in, and just making sure that you learn something every single day. And then no matter what you do, as long as you don't stop, you will always succeed in the end. It's just a matter of time. If you make sure that you work on it every single day, you make sure that you improve every single day, then it's like an idiot-proof formula. Eventually, you will get to wherever you want to be. It's just a matter of time. And knowing that's like when you're starting, then it's like, okay, my life is in an acceptable position. I can pay all my bills. I just continue doing this, and then we'll see. Does it take like 1 year? Does it take 20 years? For me, it took 3 years. And then now I just continue doing it. Yeah.
Absolute respect, man. Absolute respect.
Thank you.
So, lastly, what's up for Lukas Engstro over the coming years? Retirement?
No, definitely not retirement. That's pretty much the only thing I know at this point. No, I just want to make like more things. So now, although I am like a full-time YouTuber, I kind of trying to look into getting like something less YouTube-y and more like maybe a host of some sort. Trying to work more with other YouTube channels. Hopefully, like, TV is like, the dinosaur that's going to die out soon. But I'm still hoping to, maybe I can get like a few the few last sunset years of Taiwanese TV, like being like a TV host or something. Because it gets a little bit tedious to like, my life for the past 5 years is 90% is sitting in front of the computer editing the videos.
Yeah.
Like what you're seeing right now, this is the fun part. This is like what you want to do. Just like talking with interesting people in front of a camera. That's what I want to do. So just finding a way to either maybe hire more people to take care of everything, or finding like another cooperation with a TV channel, or maybe a bigger YouTube channel that wants me just doing the fun stuff.
Man, honestly, I know I've said respect so many times, but you certainly have earned your respect over the years. And yeah, wishing you only the best. Go crush your goals for 2024 and go for it. So you're on what? 250,000 subs?
264,000, I think.
So where are we going to go to at the end of the year?
Good question. Honestly, as long as my income somehow pays all my bills and maybe put a little bit into my own pension fund, that's all I can ever ask for.
So there you go, folks. You go and smash that sub button. Get your 3-year-old kids to go and smash it. Take it to kindergarten. Let them all subscribe as well. Just go on. We don't care. We just want the subs and the likes and the views.
And watch my ads. That's like the most important thing, actually.
Oh, do we have to click on the ads as well?
No, so like if you watch my YouTube videos, there will be ads in my channel, and I only get paid if people are watching my ads.
Okay, so I must just go and watch the ads.
Just watch my ads
10 times over. Folks,
keep it running. Just keep the ads running. Go to the bathroom. Go to watch something else. Just keep my ads running, and I'll make some money.
There you go. Teach your kids how to watch ads, so Lukas can have something cold in the fridge.
Nice. Thank you.
All right, Lukas, thank you so much. Wishing you only the best for this year and for the future. Obviously, we're all around here in Taipei, and catch up with you soon. And thank you so much. So, folks, go on. Check him out. We're obviously going to have all the descriptions and links in around there in the description, up or down, don't know when. So check him out, follow him, and if you get the immense pleasure to ever run into him somewhere, go on, say hello. He's an amazing person, super handsome as well. So, okay, thanks so much.
It's easy for you to say who is blind. I take it. I still take it.
All right, folks. Listen, let's build great businesses together and have a smashing year. Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Taiwan is attracting foreign talented entrepreneurs through the Entrepreneur Visa program. Folks, if you're serious about starting a new business and you really want to come and try it in Taiwan, this is your ticket to success. So get in touch with our TIE team. We are dealing with an Entrepreneur Visa. We have all the knowledge you need. So get in touch with us.